Welcome again to our second workshop on building presentations using Canva. And we have Anukriti today with us, who will do this 2 days workshop, where in the first day she's going to talk about how do we build an effective presentation using Canva. And the second day she will be reviewing all the presentation we make after the first day. So I hope that these 2 days will be interactive and we'll try to build the skill of building presentation. Before I start and hand it over to Anukriti, I would like to talk about Anukriti a little bit. So Anukriti is working as a talent marketing um, in 3 Pillar Global, which is basically a US-based IT company. And she's responsible for making sure the branding and internal communication of the organization. As she's working for talent marketing, it is always because people here are from HR fraternity, so she knows like what kind of thing people in talent and HR look forward for. So I hope that that experience with her experience of designing and presentation will help us and people who are on the call and people who are watching us through Facebook Live. With that said, Anukriti, welcome back to our workshop. You have been doing these kind of workshop for our volunteers, and so we are glad that we are now doing it for our members and doing it publicly. So over to you, Anukriti.
Thank you so much, Bhuvan, for giving my quick introduction to everyone. And so let me just get started. So I have kind of shared my screen. I hope it is visible.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, great. So today, as Govan mentioned, that we will be discussing about an effective way of building a presentation, because maybe you can have certain ideas, you can have certain plan or something like that, but if you're not be able to present it effectively, it might not go the way you wanted. So I think building a presentation deck is nowadays very important for every individual, be it from a senior level to any level, and it kind of boosts your confidence, whenever you are planning for a presentation. If your deck is looking good, if everything is in place, and how can I increase the effectiveness of that, I think it kind of helps you and gives you a certain kind of confidence. So having said that, I am going to start with that, and let me just quickly share the agenda for today. So today we will be first looking at the guidebook to build an effective presentation. Then we'll go ahead with, I will show some techniques to design better in Google Slides. And then I'll quickly introduce you all to the Canva, which is a kind of tool which I use for, giving me a kind of uh, choosing a template, or, giving me certain sort of references. So I will be introducing that, and then I will be helping you all that how you can pick and choose the right set of templates from Canva, and then we'll be going ahead with the Q&A session. So, this is going to be your guidebook to build an effective presentation. And first and foremost, before beginning to prepare for any presentation, or before starting and picking on the theme and anything, I would always suggest that you should always plan your presentation prior. So within planning, there are three certain areas where you have to focus on, which is objective, and second is knowing your audience, and third is preparing your content in advance. So this is something which you have to start before designing. And then the phase two is the theme. Choosing a right theme for your presentation is very important, because whatever theme you're picking up for your presentation, it should resonate with the kind of presentation you're making. So for example, if I am making a presentation which is gonna be a more branding guidelines or something like that, I will try to keep it more subtle, and I will try to not to be very playful. Whereas if I am going to present some designs to someone, maybe some marketing, for some marketing campaigns, I would like to be a little playful there, and I will show my creativity. So having said that, picking a right theme is another very important part of your presentation, which consists of 3 bullet points I have mentioned here: color palette, formatting, and kind of effects you're using. And third phase is the visual representation, use of charts, graphs, iconography, and the images you're kind of using in your presentation. So, with the right set of planning, with the right set of theme, and with the right set of presentation of your ideas and thoughts, you'll be able to achieve an effective presentation by the end of it. So as I said, planning is very important. So within planning, you should there are 3 key pointers, like I've mentioned. Objective is one of that. So when I say objective, then I mean that you should always plan and prepare your presentation, and it will certainly help you to define your audience and relevance of the content. So for example, if my objective is to showcase a data, maybe on social media, I would not be putting too much of information which can be overwhelming for any awake person or any third person. Or for example, if I am being a developer, if I am presenting it to someone from maybe from management part, or management, someone from the management hierarchy or from marketing hierarchy, I would not be putting too much of technical information, or maybe to not putting too much of screenshot of codes or something like that. So you need to understand your audience, and then you have to identify what sort of data you would be keeping in, so that everyone would be able to understand it. And the second important thing is knowing your audience. Obviously, like I've mentioned, that if you're presenting a sales pitch about a new product or something like that, if you're give it to the marketing team, it would look different, and if you're giving it to finance team, it would look certainly different. So you need to really think of your audience before setting a priority for your and setting up your content for the presentation. And then research. Yeah, research is very important. You should avoid putting up facts, figures before making a research. So you should avoid marking any number or something like that before, if you don't have any facts and figures in place. So I would always suggest that always do research, always do research what's up in the market. Maybe because as a market is changing so frequently, trends are changing so frequently, you need to keep up with the market trends, and you need to be very frequent with your research. So whatever data you are putting, whatever survey you are putting in your presentation, analysis for that matter, maybe Forrester report or something like that, you should always take care that it's up and trending, and it's always updated. So these are the 3 phases of planning. And the next phase is the theme. So here I have kept a disclaimer first, that if you are associated to any brand or any brand name, then I would always suggest that use the color palette of as per your branding guidelines. So you would not be then you won't be able to be playful. But yeah, and if you're not, then these are some techniques which you should follow to uh, opting out for the right sort of color palette. So why color palette is so important, why I'm saying that choosing a right color palette is important, because a right color palette can actually persuade and motivate people. So for example, if I am choosing color which are too contrasting or not so soothing to eyes, I would not pay attention to the presentation. If I am seeing flashy color or neon color or something which is not soothing to eyes, I would not look at the presentation for any longer. So you need to be very good with choosing the right color. And I would always suggest that limit the number of colors on the single screen. So you should not be playful by putting too many colors on just one slide, unless you are not using it as a theme. I will show you some example where there will be a lot of colors, but it will be throughout the theme. So yeah, so that's another thing. And yeah, bright color makes a small objects and thin lines stand out. So the other thing is that choosing a right set of colors. Maybe if you're using bright colors, then you have to use it effectively uh, and you should be always focusing that you are not using any vibrant color as your text, because then it would be difficult for the other person to read out the text. So for example, if I will be putting maybe a yellow color here and there, then it will be little flashy for everyone to kind of read the text. And then use no more than 4 colors on one chart, and keep consistency in your color scheme. So if you even like if you notice any color template, it's very important that the color scheme is fixed, and you should not be going overwhelmed with overboard with the too many colors within particular theme. So in that way you have to take care of that. And then the other part of the theme is the formatting and how it is important. So formatting, with that said, formatting, I meant about the font type. So I would always suggest that choose a classic font type for your presentation, and a kind of font type which are easy to read. So for example, if I am using Comic Sans, or if I am using some more italics or something like that, it won't be easier for the other person to be able to read. So you need to be focused here that you are choosing classic font types. So I have mentioned some examples here. And the other important thing is that don't switch between caps and lowercase, and font types and font sizes. So for example, if I am keeping font type of, or maybe font size of 60 as my heading, I will try to keep it same throughout my slides, throughout all my slides. And if I am using Roboto condensed, or maybe times or maybe Calibri for my heading, I will be keeping it same throughout my slides. So it will kind of give a cohesiveness to all your slides. And then point size, like I've mentioned, if I, for example, here I have used uh, heading of Roboto Condense, the point size is 60, and I have kept it the caps are not all caps. This is not all caps. So I will keep on following this trend only, so that it will kind of give me a cohesive presentation by the end of it. And the next important thing is don't use multiple font type and sizes in one go. And and if you wish to indicate something as an important, then you can always use bold. But I would suggest that avoid using italics, because they are kind of, sometimes they are very difficult. And also I will suggest that avoid using underlines as well. I have not mentioned here, but I'm saying that avoid should avoid using underlines as well, because at times it becomes really difficult for the other person to read. And the third important okay, so one, make sure all the objects are aligned. So yeah, if you are using multiple objects or multiple elements within one presentation, then you have to keep them aligned. So I will give you some examples maybe later, where I will be showing why it is so important. So next important thing, I will move on to the effects. And when I say effects, it means transitions. So for example, if you are if you are using animations, transition, then you have to make sure that you are using it limitedly, or it should be in a sync. So for example, like if I take an example here, that I am using animation here, but I am using one such sort of animation throughout my slide. So the idea is it should not be like one element is flying from the top, or one element is zooming out, one element is zooming in, and all together it's in the one slide. Then it will look like little messy, and it will not visually appealing. So try to not go overboard with the transition, and try not to use the transitions within all slides. So transition, when you see faded out, faded in, zoom out, zoom in, so those sort of transition, limit them up to few slides, not use them so sparingly. And then proper alignment, I have already mentioned. And avoid over formatting. So for example, if you are using bullet points in any slide, and if you are using circular bullet, or maybe uh, what should I say, solid circular bullet, solid circle as a bullet point, then you should be keep on using that sort type of bullet point. And if you know, if another slide you are using some maybe a solid triangle or something like that as another bullet point, then it would not look good, and it would not provide the cohesiveness. So for example, I have mentioned example here. If you can see within this side, it has too many formatting, so it's underlining here. This is left right side align. This has italics, and this part has italics, this part has underlining, and this part has bullet points. And whereas this part will look little better because it does not have too much of formatting here. So you need to be very uh, you need to be very conscious of using formatting so that it won't look tacky. So next important thing is visual representation. So for example, if you are using charts and graphs to represent your data, then there are few kinds of chart, four kind of charts to be precise, available for you on Google Slides to be used. For example, if you are using, if you wish to showcase percentage, then I would suggest to use pie chart, because then it kind of gives you a good data and good visual, when you are presenting something in percentage. And I would suggest limit that to 4 to 6 and give the contrast color accordingly, so that it won't look too much, at one go. And the other are vertical bar charts. So if you are showing changes quantity over the time, so for example, maybe what should I say? Maybe rate of engagement on social media, then maybe you would like to show a vertical bar chart, because then you are showing a change in same quantity over the time period of time, over the period of time. So next type of chart is horizontal bar chart. So for example, if you are comparing a quantity, for example, you are comparing a sales figure among four regions, or maybe you are comparing population among four countries, then I would suggest that use horizontal bar chart, so that it will go with the kind of data you are presenting. And the four types of charts are there, which are line charts. So for example, if you are demonstrating trends, then I would suggest to go with the line charts. So maybe I will give you some example when I say pie chart. So for example, if you notice here, okay, insert chart. So these are the four kind of chart which are available on Google Slides. So for example, if I am using line chart, so line chart will somewhat come like this. So it is kind of good chart to showcase your trends and something like that. So that's the idea, that picking up the right chart for the data presentation. And the next important thing is iconography, what sort of icons I am using. So that's also very important, because at times you need to use icons instead of bullet points to maybe make it more visually appealing. So when I say iconography, I would always suggest that you need to maintain the cohesivity between the icons. It should have same style, same size, same elements, and same color scheme. So when I say same style, size, same elements, and color scheme, I mean like this. So for example, if you notice within the same style, so these two icons are of same style. So these have the gradients of same color. But whereas if I am seeing at this side, these two icons are not of same style. One is having black and white, and one is having a gradient with gradient in blue color. So it's always good that you use icons of same style and same size as well. For example, if I am using a icon of this size, and if I am using an icon of this size which is slightly bigger than this, then it would not be suggesting. I would not suggest that. And then these same elements, so when I'm saying same elements, I mean, for example, if you see here, I have opted out for two icons, one of Twitter and LinkedIn. Both are of same types, because it has a corner or square at the back, and it has black and white, like black and white color as an icon. Whereas on the other hand, Twitter icon looks like this and LinkedIn looks like this. So this is the original icon. So I would say that if you are using original icons, then keep the original icons throughout your slide. If you are using icons with black and white, then I would suggest the idea is to choose the right set of elements, and the icons which have the same elements in it, so that it will look good together. And then the color scheme, so I would always suggest that whatever icons you're picking up within your slide, it should go well with your color palette of your presentation. So for example, if I will use or maybe the color scheme I have in my presentation, I have blues, I have orange, I have white. So if I'll be using the icons of this color, it will look good and part of the slide. So for example, if I will be using icon which can be maybe a red color, which can maybe of yellow color, green color, then it will look out of place, a little out of place. So I would always suggest that choose the same color. And there are few tools, maybe flat icon, free icons, freeicons.com, where you can find out the set of icons for your usage. Yeah, so from there you can download your icon type and from the same family. And then the images, so images are very important when you use and when you want to make your presentation visually very appealing. Images are very important, but it can either make and break your slide. How? Let me tell you. So I will always suggest that use a high quality photos and graphics. So there are times I have noticed that people are using images in their slides, but it is not of good quality, and once you are in presenter mode, it kind of pixelating, or it kind of not gives that good effect. So I would always suggest that search for some copyright free images. Here are some examples here. Okay, so I have mentioned one disclaimer here as well, that if you are maybe just for the sake of it, that if avoid to avoid the copyright situation, then you can always go these to do these tools, free stock and Vexy, and there are so many other tools available from where you can find out free downloadable copyright free images. Then I would suggest download from there and use it in within your slide, so that it won't look bad or pixelating. And their tone of image, so for example, when I'm saying tone of image, so for example, if I am within my presentation, if I am showcasing maybe what to say, maybe a trend, maybe a market trend or something, then I would be choosing an image which will kind of resonate that context. And for example, if I am talking about celebration, then I should be opting out images which kind of resonate the same set of context, somebody celebrating or something like that. So picking up a right image for your presentation is also very important. It kind of it should not it should not look not a part of it. So for example, if I am talking about awards, and if I have placed an image which is maybe from a retail outlet or maybe from somewhere else, it would not go in sync. So always try to pick up the images from which will resonate the context within the or content within the slide, so it kind of set well with the tone of the images. And then find the right balance. So I would not suggest that you should be using too many images within one slide. Maybe you should always pick two three good images which kind of resonate with your content, and you can place it in effectively and arrange it effectively, so that it should not look little clumsy. It should always be effectively arranged, and it should have some blank spaces for content, so that it won't look overwhelmed if I'm looking at it. So, and then next thing is avoid flashy images and built-in clip arts. So I would not suggest that to use clip arts which are already available in the Google slide, because they kind of not go well. I just don't like it, and I think you should avoid that. And you can always find good sort of images or icons from various free tools. And also flashy images which has which looks too cluttered or something like that, I would suggest that avoid that. And you can always find good images from the free tools I've suggested above. And the color scheme, so I would say the color choose images with the same color scheme. So, whatever I'm talking with here, I will be showing some examples as well in later on, that why I'm saying this. So for example, just to give you an overview, if I am using a picture image which has maybe a black and white, and then I am using another image which has too much of colors, and if I am using an image which has orange undertone, so if I putting different type of images which has different color scheme going on within particular slide, it kind of not go well together. So I would suggest that if you are using a black and white image in one presentation, either apply a overlay. I will show you the techniques later on, and either apply a overlay or apply the color same color palette or scheme to all the images, so that it will go well and kind of not look and not kind of break the view as a viewer. So here are some do's and don'ts. So within do's, I would say that keep it simple and avoid the clutter. Not keep too much of information at one go. As per your audience choose your content as per your audience, and always proofread the content. Check for grammar and spelling errors or something like that, and don't go overboard with animation. So like I've already suggested that if you are using one sort of transition or one sort of animation, use that only and don't go overboard with that, and keep the background consistent and subtle, so it won't uh, just it won't look because if you are not using, and if you keep on changing your background and keep on doing that, it won't look good to eyes, and it kind of distract the other person. and and few things I've already suggested, like images from same family, keep the right contact contrast, right balance of color. So for example, when I'm saying this, what I mean is that if I'm seeing my background is of light color, I am putting my text here as as dark color, so that it kind of gives you a contrast, and it kind of it is easy to read. So for example, if I will keep this text gray in color or something which kind of merge with the background, so it won't look visually so good. So always try to keep that contrast. If you are having a light background, try to have whatever content you're placing should be having dark settings, and just find the right balance of the colors. And don'ts, I think I have already discussed that don't go and use decorative and comic fonts and dark text on a light background and vice versa, and avoid jargons and slang words. So yeah, within presentation I would always also suggest that avoid using jargons or slang words, because it kind of not look good if you're presenting it to a big forum. So, having said that, these are some do's and don'ts and guidelines which I have kind of collated to follow to create an effective presentation. And now I would try to show you some techniques, from where and how you can apply the same color scheme, and how you can do that, how you can have a similar looking background and something like that on Google Slide. Okay, so just give me a moment. Okay. So for example, now I have the blank space. So let's say I would like to apply any background to the blank space. So what I would be doing is I may be going to the free pick, which is a free tool which provides me good quality images, and then I will look out for some images. Yeah, maybe I would like to let's say I think I have already one slide which is already available. Let me try to open that. Okay. So let's say I'm picking up on this picture here, and I will be just downloading it for free, and then maybe I will be picking up a picture from the same family. So if you look at it, this picture and this picture kind of goes really well because it kind of have a same color scheme. It has brown and gray undertones. So I will be maybe downloading this as well. And then let me try to pick a picture which is not so similar. So maybe this. Now I can see it has different colors, so many colors altogether. Let me download that. Hmm. It's work in progress. It's work in progress. Let me try to open up the slides which I've already prepared. Hmm. Let me try to use the pictures which I've already have. So just to show maybe because it's taking too much of time, let me just download some images from Google directly, and then maybe we'll let me use the rest. Uh, Let me just save them for now, just to show you the technique, and then maybe choosing this image, and then this image. Okay, so now if I would like to use this image as a background, what I have done is I have just selected that image and place it here, and then I can click on the right tab and I can replace the image. Okay, reset this image as a background. So, also you can upload from your computer and it will give you an option. So for example, now let me just try to add another slide, maybe this slide, and then have that image. So if you notice, I'm not sure whether it's taking time, but if you notice the kind of quality of images I have got from Freepik, is way too good, and the kind of quality of image I have got from Google is not so good. Now you can see it from your eyes. So this kind of visual is very good, and this is not so good. So just keep taking this as an example. So now, just avoid the kind of visual it has. I'm just trying to give you an example that if the two images are not of the same tone, then how you can do that. So maybe I will go to this and go to the transition. So I will double click on this and go to the format option, and it will allow me to recolor my images. So for example, if I would want to use an image which has maybe a gray tone or something like that, black and white, which will not look flashy, then I can recolor my images from here. And similarly, because now I can see these, so this is little annoying. Maybe let me try if I can have some other image. Yeah. So again, you can see the image which I have downloaded from Google. It's of very low quality. Uh, Let me try to download a good quality image from here. Very large. Hmm, Let me see if it is slightly better or not. Not so great again. Okay, well, we will go, we keep let me just keep this as an example. So for example, now I can see the color tones are not in sync. Then I can always recolor this to same color. So even if I don't have the images of same color scheme, then I can always apply the color scheme to that, so that it will look a part of the theme. So now another technique which I would like to show, that you can also crop your images to size or to different sort of shapes. So for example, what you need to do is that you need to double click on that, and you will be selecting this option, and you will be selecting this option. Now you can see different shapes here. And maybe if I'll select and if I would like to keep this image like this, and I have selected this option, and automatically crops my image with this layout within this shape. So now I can maybe use it somewhere here. Yeah. So you can always change the shape from here. You just need to double click that, click on that option, and then you can change the shape of your image. So for example, if I would like to use an image which is circular, and then I can also adjust that. So for example, if I would like to stretch it, small this, you can do these techniques. And now I will be showing a technique of overlay. So for example, maybe I will keep this no color. Yeah. And then for example, if I have this image, and let me just try to, okay, so for example, now I have this image, and I would like to apply, I maybe would like to tone this down a bit. Then what I can do is I can apply an overlay. For example, if this image is not doing well with my color scheme or the theme of my presentation, then what I can do is to make it a part of it. What I can do is I can apply an overlay on the top of it. So how will I be doing it? I will choose same shape from here of the image, like this, and be applying this on the top of it, something like this. Now I can transparent of this overlay. So I will go to this color fill section, and then I'll go to the custom, and then from here I can decrease the transparency like this, or maybe to or other color. So you can apply an overlay just in case. if the images are not going well with your theme. So for example, if you're having theme going on which has images like this, or if you have elements like this, then you can always apply these overlays and make that image look part of your presentation. So maybe now this is the section. Now if I'll choose the image as a background, so what I can do is I can change the background. Just I have clicked this option here, and now I can choose the image either from Google or either from my uploads. I would suggest that always download good quality images. uh, let's say this one, this one. So this will automatically resets my image as a background image. So you can always use and pick such backgrounds, um, because having a image or something gradient or abstract in your background looks good. Done. So if you see that my now this image has been directly set as a background, I don't need to stretch it. And whenever I make a copy of it, it will have the same background throughout. So for example, now I think that this image will be too overwhelming or will be too much. Then what I can do is I can keep this image as it is, and I can apply an overlay on the top of it. So let me just choose that, so that it will tone down and it kind of matches up to your color scheme. So let's just keep this as an example. So maybe you can choose something like this. You can always decrease and increase the consistency of this overlay which you have applied. So now you can, maybe a little much. So these are some techniques. Let me just show you an examples with the icons as well. So let me just increase a little more. So maybe this. So for example, I have icons which are from, now these are from the same color, but let's say if I would like to change the color of my icons and I don't want this color to be orange. So what I can do is I can change the color of my icons as well. I just need to click on that. I will go to the format option and I can apply the colors here. So for example, I want a gray color icon, then I can apply the color and change the color. Maybe this to this. So you can also change the colors of your icons here. Animation is also part of it. Because animation whole takes a lot of efforts and it kind of needs a more level of understanding. So yeah, so you can also add some animation. Maybe you would want that thing to appear on click. Maybe you can apply, and just you need to select this item and then you can select animate, and then you can select appear on click, because I want that icon to only appear when I'm clicking on it. So maybe this also appear on click. So now when I play it, so now that appears on click, the one. So these are some techniques in Google Slides. If you have any, if anyone has any questions or would like to know specifically on something more about Google Slides, then let me know in the chat box, and or maybe I would like to go ahead with the Canva.
So I don't see any questions so far from anybody on Google Slides. So maybe we can move to Canva. And
Okay.
if there are questions which will come, then maybe we can take them.
Okay, sure. So let me just move ahead with our next point of discussion, okay, which is an introduction to Canva, and then how you can use and pick the templates of Canva. So Canva is a tool which allows you to design templates, brochures, presentation, and whatnot. So if you notice, you can always create your you just need to sign up here with your email address, and your Canva account is ready, and most of the features of Canva are free of use. So you can have really good uh, repository of images. You can have good repository of templates of various types. So for example, because I've already have the account and I've already signed up for that, you can see something like this, and I have already saved my password, so I have directly opened my Canva account. So within this tab you will find some templates. So now you can see the Canva has too many templates. It has templates for presentation, Instagram, collage, flyer, brochure, announcement, newsletters, posters, and whatnot. So you can look at it's a very good tool to use. And let me just try to pick up the piece of presentation from here, because there are times when you have to use some good visuals in order to make your presentation look really effective. Then this Canva tool kind of comes up very handy, because it comes up with free templates available. So let me just what I have just done is I have just clicked on this icon, which kind of gives me a different sort of templates available, and I will be choosing this presentation type. So when I just click that, now you can see on this side there are so many templates available for my use. So if you don't know, then how can I design that, what should be the right theme, how can I choose the right palette or whatnot, then you can always use these templates. This kind of comes very handy. So for example, yeah, so now you can see it has so many good examples and templates already available, numerous. And it can also have, like, I have some charts and visual represent, and charts for visual representation. So if you notice, then it has charts like this, this, and so on. If you would like to show some analytics, you can use this sort of dashboard, which kind of gives you a chart for trends, which kind of gives you a demography breakdown, and kind of gives you a overview on different sort of locations and so on. So these are some templates which are already available. So for example, if you're making SWOT report, then you can pick and choose some of the templates which are available, like this, and one looks like this. So there are times when we have to make SWOT reports, either for ourselves, or even if you're doing any market analysis, then you need to make such reports. Then you can use these templates. These kind of comes very handy. And you must be wondering, for example, if I would like to use maybe this template, and now what if I would like to edit this, and how I can add this in my Google slide, and how can I apply my branding palette to it if I have certain color scheme or some color palette within my organization, how can I do that? So the answer is the answer to this is that it's very simple. So for example, just taking an example from the templates which are available, I'm taking this slide as an example. So for example, if I would like to use this template within my Google slide, then how can I do that? So now we can notice this, that when I'm clicking on that, in this tab I can see some changes. So for example, if I'm clicking on this, it kind of gives me when I click on this, it kind of gives me this window which has color. Now when I click on this, now I can see the whole color palette. So now I can from here I can apply and change the color palette as per my brand scheme. So for example, if my brand scheme has this color, then I can change that color. So for example, let's just keep on doing that and make one at least. And then I will show you that how you can use it in your Google slide. So for example, if I have any specific font type within my brand, then I can also do edit that. So for example, you just need to double click that, you will find this option, and then you can select or type your font type within your organization. Yeah. So for example, let me just choose that. Yeah. And if I would say that, it must be taking too much of time to apply the same format to all the type, to all the font types, that what you can do is you just need to select all elements, and now it has automatically selected all the elements. Now what I can do is I can quickly click on this item, which allows me to edit the font type. And then now I can see, these are all the results of font types which are already being used within this particular template. So here are all the results. So now I would like to go for one maybe font type, just this. Kind of not changed, should be changing that. Oh. Okay, so this is learning for me as well. Yeah, so these are because in group it doesn't work like that. So maybe I have to ungroup them, and then when I select this, I can change the font at a time. So initially they were in group. So what I have done is I have just selected that item, ungrouped that, and then change the icon to Roboto. So I can do that here as well. Maybe ungroup all, multiple fonts, apply. So in just in case, like the thing which we have just seen, that because initially all the font types were grouped together, so it kind of not allowed me to change the font types. But once I selected them and ungrouped them, it kind of allowed me to change the font type at one go. So now I can see my all font types have been changed. So maybe I would like to, now I can select the color code for my font type here from here. You can just need to select it and change the color palette from here. Maybe I would like to go with the orange, and orange here too. Maybe orange. Let's keep it blue, and maybe this will be light blue. This may orange, and this may gray. So I'll choose the headings of opposite colors here. So yeah. So yeah, now you must be wondering that, I have maybe edited that content. Maybe you can also edit the content from here. You just need to type whatever it is, and then you can have the edited content. Now you must be wondering that, I have used a template, but now how can I apply this in my Google slide? How would I be able to use it? How would I be able to extract that to my Google slide? So the answer is again very simple, that you just need to download that. So for example, I will select this icon here, and then I can see option, Microsoft PowerPoint, and so on. So let me just download it as Microsoft PowerPoint for now. I will be just putting up this Microsoft PowerPoint slide within my, I'm just uploading this slide to my drive. And once that's done, I can open it with Google Slides. Yep. So now you can see that template is now I can see within the Google slide format. So it's very easy to do. Even if you click on this, if you're working on PowerPoint, then you will directly have this slide which is made as PowerPoint friendly. So yeah. So now what I can simply do is I just can simply copy that slide and paste it within the slide that I wish to use. Oh, it doesn't copy. So a new slide. Match the style and presentation, keep original. Let me just keep it original. Okay, so now you can see you have easily added the slide which you have edited and made in Canva to your Google slide. So that's very easy to do. So similarly, you can see that now it has so many templates available for the use. It just you need to pick up the right template for your choice. For example, if I would like to show um, some growth or maybe timeline, I would suggest that picking up one such templates. It kind here you can mention some timelines or milestones. So maybe milestone for 2019, 2010, and then goes to 2020. So maybe this type of template you can use to you know visually represent the timeline. And then if you wish to project any um, uh, project process or something like that which has associated to some timeline presentation, then you can use these templates. So now you can see here that it has templates available, and it kind of comes with the category. So for example, if you would like to um, if you would like to present step by step process chart presentation, then you can use such templates. If you wish to use have a template which kind of gives you analytics dashboard presentation, then you can choose this template. So it kind of comes with the category. So if maybe if you would like to choose bar chart within your presentation, then you can choose this template. So it has too many categories. You just need to identify which category you would like to pick, which can be a best fit for your presentation type. So for example, here I can see some arrow charts going on, which kind of gives me, which kind of tells a 5 order process. So it can we can reflect and use that as a 5 order process. So maybe a process which has 5 sequences to it or something like this. So it has too many visuals available, and it also comes with the category. So you can always go and pick, choose that. And the editing part is also easy. For example, if I would like to show a company hierarchy or something like that, or maybe project project partners or something like that, it has organizational chart, organizational chart, organizational chart, organizational chart, let me just try to close on to other tabs. So for example, if you have noticed here that I have already segregated some of the chart to give you all a kind of overview. Like this is a chart which we can use to show different processes, timelines, on the visual representation. Maybe here, if you would like to show any ecosystem or any framework, you maybe would like to use this sort of chart, and so on and so forth. Timeline, it has so many. Yeah. So for example, if you are using a chart which has already images attached to it. So let's say this sort of, which kind of gives us the company hierarchy template. So what you can easily do it, you can easily edit those images. You just need to double click on that image and just remove that. And whatever image you would like to upload it in place of it, you can always select and upload that. So maybe let me just upload any image, maybe this image. You just need to select and drop down that image to this portion. It will automatically sets up to the right dimensions. So now we can see this image has been changed. So for example, if you would also like to use such template where you would be putting maybe a company chart or something like that, or what you can do is simply you can upload your image from here, from your desktop, and you're good to go. And you just need to select that image and copy paste it here, and then you will be good to go to use it in this template. So just like that, you can change that, and you can also change that colors, font types, and everything. So if there is any questions, because of the, like I have showed you that there are so many charts available already, and which kind of comes within category. Now you can pick and choose whatever sort of chart and visual visual, how you want to represent your data visually. So for example, if you are talking about something like that, you can, it has multiple charts available. So if there is any questions on how we can do this and that on this, I will be good to answer now.
So there's no question in the chat right now, Nukati, but I think if I look at these options which you're showing, these are really awesome because there are times when you look at for specific kind of slide in your presentation, and then you have to start working on it from the beginning. But I think with that, we can save a lot of time. I love the one which you just showing on the organization structure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the awesome one. There are different ways by which you can represent your organization. The short one was great, and the timelines and all. So I think this is really going to be useful, especially as you are connecting the template and the slide which we can create, and how we can transfer that back to the Google slide is also very useful, because many organizations works on Google slide or on PowerPoint, not specifically on Canva, but there is a way by which you can still leverage Canva for your PowerPoint or Google slide. So great piece of information there.
Absolutely. So let me just quickly try to share some piece of information while I was explaining about the themes, maybe if there is no question. So for example, if you notice here, why I was saying that it should have a right set of balance to themes, to color palette, to schemes going on. So for example, let me just try to pick up one presentation, maybe this one. And even if you look at it, in one go, I could see that all whole presentation kind of looks, and looks similar to me, and it kind of gives me a feel that it belongs to a same family. Why? Because it has the same elements. So it has the same sort of picture types, it has the pictures of buildings, so they have kept the tone of pictures same throughout, and it have same sort of font going on, same sort of color scheme going on. So if you notice that it has one transition color which is orange, which kind of gives a right contrast, and sets that. And they have only one contrasting color, and they have used two neutral colors, one is black and white. And because it has too many images already, so they have not gone too playful with the font color type, because then it kind of gives too much of it can be too much of too many things together. So here, like from here, you can always see that how you can uh, design your theme, how you can think of your theme, and how what theme should I'll be picking up. For example, I will suggest that if you are for example, if within one presentation, if you are using animations, then I would suggest that keep your background subtle, keep the font type cohesive throughout the presentation, try to not playful with the rest of the elements, so that it kind of not look too much of too many things. So for example, if I am being playful with the color palette, for example, here are some presentation. If you notice, let me just try to grab one. uh, okay. Yeah, so for example, if I am picking up on creative presentation, now it has some presentation which has too many colors, or too many things going on all together. So let me just try to pick one example, maybe this one, and I'll apply it to all pages. So yeah, one more thing, that if you have selected one of the templates from here and you wish to use that template throughout your slides, and if you're only working on Canva, then what you can do is you can apply all 15 pages. You just need to select that. It will automatically apply the whole presentation in this section, and then maybe you can delete and work on it. I will also show, because we have some time, I will also show that if I am picking up a template from some other slide, how I can make it look little cohesive, or make it look a part of it. So for example, here you can see that there is a presentation which kind of have too many colors and too many things going on, but it already says that it's a marketing advertisement presentation. And so here comes the thing, that why you should know your audience. Because if you are going to present to an advertisement organization where you have to sell some advertisement, or maybe some graphics or something like that, then you have to be a little creative on that part, because it kind of depends what kind of vertical and what kind of industry you're working in, and what kind of like the audience you have. So it depends on it kind of depends on that as well. So here, if you see, even if it has colors going on and animation going on like this, but it has a cohesiveness to it, because even if they are using too many colors, they are using it in a way. So like you can see, it has same sort of elements. So for example, if they have used this animation, they have kept it same throughout. So it has similar animation throughout. They have not been playful there, right? So for example, if I will add too many types of animations also within that size, it kind of not look, it kind of look start looking clumsy then. But now if I notice here, even if they have so many colors, because they have kept it, and it kind of looks similar to me, because it has same sort of elements of animation, it seems to me that they belongs to the same family. So you can be creative, but you need to identify that where what's your play zone. For example, here if I am playing with animation, I have not played here with the font type, or font color, or other than that, or maybe or other color scheme. I have set my color scheme, I am playing with the animation, and I have not touched the font size and font type color. So you need to
Anu-
be identify that
Anukriti,
what.
sorry,
Yeah.
there's a question on the Facebook Live for you,
Okay.
and he's asking if, like we have Canva, which is an online version.
Mhm.
So do we also have a offline tool, like you can just download and do it, as opposed to being on the cloud? Is there any such tool like Canva?
So there is one tool which is freepik.com. From freepik.com, you can also have like some options of presentations. So now you can see here. So what I will be simply doing is I will apply it filter for free. So now it kind of gives me a whole bunch of presentation templates which are already available. But the part of FreePic is that you need to like you need to work on different set of tool to be able to have a blank template to start with. So for example, if I am selecting maybe this template for my presentation, then I can download it, but I need to edit in and make it make some blank spaces and remove the text in another tool. Then I will be able to use that visuals directly. But yeah, if you would like to use this tool as a reference point, maybe you don't know how I can represent my data and what theme I would like to pick for my presentation, and I will be good to do that if I can get some references. Then you can always go and refer this, because it has some good good quality templates or themes already available, from where you can get some reference. For example,
Yeah,
if I don't know how I can make my presentation look more playful, I can see that, and maybe I can try to recreate that on my Google Slides. So it's very easy. You need to just put the right pieces at right places. For example, here I can see, here there is quote, one image with overlay, and here also same image with overlay, overlay. I have already showed the technique how you can apply the overlay. And here is another image. Here is one image with overlay, same color format, and then it has circles and colors. So you can always replicate that and use this tool as a reference point if you are not sure, what should be the right theme for me to pick. So it can
great.
give you. And there is another tool from where you can edit that, so it will take another chunk of time to explain that.
Okay, so quickly, although this is not related with presentation, there's a question from Vicky Mehta asking if there is a way in Canva to create logos.
Mm-hmm. So because Canva is not a tool from where you can design from or make your design. So for example, a logos are something which are kind of designed with some designer tool. You have to draw it from scratch. So it kind of not allows that. But yeah, there is one tool, maybe Vectzy, which is available for free. If you have good hands on, on this, then what you can do is you can draw the logo. If you Because for logo, I would not suggest to use the elements which are already available somewhere, maybe in Canva or somewhere else, because it kind of not looks good, and logo should have a uniqueness to it. So that's the reason why I would not suggest Canva to use it. But if you have a good skill set of drawing things from sketch, then you can use Vectzy, which is another free tool to draw the logo. So for example, here is the pen tool, and then you can start the drawing part. So yeah,
Okay,
this is a tool which you can use.
great. So we are left with 12 minutes and maybe for you another 5 to 7 minutes. Is there anything would you like our audience to know more about presentation in Canva?
Yeah, so maybe what I was just saying, that if I have decided to pick one template, and if I wish to use another template, or maybe a slide from other template, how can I do that, and how can I make it look cohesive? Let me just try to cover that in the meantime. So what I will be doing is, let me just open another slide of Canva so that it won't go haywire. Uh, Let me choose the presentation. Okay, so for example, this is the template I wish to use, just for example, for my presentation. But I would like to have one, maybe a slide which kind of gives me maybe a dashboard presentation or something like that. So maybe let's just pick that. So maybe this one. So maybe I would like to use this slide as well within that particular slide, and I would like to make it more look a part of it, or uh, you know so what I can do is I can quickly copy this. So if you notice, I'm just copying this from here, and let's say add new page, and let me just apply that. It kind of applies the background only. Okay, so let me just copy that and select those elements, copy that, and paste it. So what I have just done is, I have just added one more page, from here, from the option here, which says, which allows me to add new page, and it automatically gives me the background of the same type. And I what I've done is what I've done is that I have just copy pasted all those elements and pasted here. So now to make it look more cohesive, what I can just do is I can change the color palette, maybe according to the scheme which is already there. Yeah. So maybe I would like to use white color instead. So you just need to change the color scheme going on. Because now I can see here mostly the font type is been written either in white color or either in the color of the background. But because I already have the color of the background as purple, I would be using the text on white color. So now I can change the color of my elements. So by the end of it will look that it belongs to the same family. So maybe I will select all and try to change the color scheme at one go. Yeah. And maybe, yeah, so now you can see here there are some elements as well, like here there is an icon, and I wish to change the color scheme here as well. So what I can do is I have just double click on that. I have clicked on that, and now I can see the color palette which has been applied to this element. And now I can change this color palette, maybe this, and the internal option with this. So now you can see the icon has the same color scheme. And I would like to change this as well, maybe to this. So you can always change the color scheme which is already there within to any sort of element. So maybe I need to change this as well. I need to change this as well. So I will be keep on doing that till the time I would not receive the uh, maybe, yeah. So similarly, I will be changing the color type and the font type of every element. I will be uh, changing the font type as similar to this 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 template. So for example, it has aileron heavy. So I would be keeping the font size same. It has aileron regular right now. I will be keeping this same. So what I can just do it, I can pick up on any template from any slide, and to make it look cohesive and part of the whole slide, I just need to apply some changes so that it kind of looks similar and part of the presentation template which is already available. And maybe I will be copying, let me just quickly do that. So what I'm just doing is I'm just copying that and changing the color. That's it. Maybe this color to white color again, because they don't have used too much of colors. So maybe what I can do is I can kind of grab this, copy this animation and paste it here. And maybe I would like to keep it somewhere here. And then I can copy that and paste it here, move it up to this, and then just need to change the text size maybe to 16. So now if you notice that now my this slide which was the part of another slide now has the same tone, and it looks like a part of it. And if you, yeah, so these are some techniques. For example, I would also like to put this element here. So I have just copied that element which was already available on slide, and I will paste it somewhere here. Maybe I can move it like this. So now you notice my this slide now looks like the part of my presentation, because now it has the same color scheme, it has the same font type, and everything looks of the same family. So we can do that as well. If you are choosing up any slide from any theme, and if you have picked up another template, what you just need to do is you just need to apply the same scheme of color, family, font type, and elements to that presentation to make it look cohesive. Yeah, so any questions on that? So I think we have good 5 minutes. If I can cater to any questions right now, it would be great. If we don't have, then maybe I'll try if there is anything left. So can we have any questions? If anybody has any questions, then they can raise.
No, there are no questions so far in the chat. But if someone wants to unmute himself or herself and wants to ask any questions, we can give couple of seconds.
Ma'am, can we adjust the particular portion of just like we can see the 10-year-old is on 5M. So can we adjust it to 4M according to us?
Yep, completely. So what you we just need to do it. For example, now I can see that 10 years old shows and reflects somewhere in between the 5 million and 4 million. I just need to select that element and I can decrease and increase the size of it. So yeah, I just need to work on this and set this. So I can decrease and increase the size of the element.